Okay, we should be back. Episode 5.
I thought I was doomed. But a miraculous thing happened, General. I could breathe. It must have been the helmet that was jammed onto my head. It was a strange and remarkable thing.
Some might almost say beyond belief.
A narrow-minded fool may indeed, General. But of course, you are no Durak. But even as I sank towards the floor of that lost ocean, my journey was about to take me to darker, stranger territory than ever before.
So I guess we are now 1,000 leagues under the sea?
Like this.
Did the same opening, I wonder. Appears to be the same opening. Skip it, because we've seen it a couple times at this point.
Let me see if I have this correctly. After narrowly failing to apprehend the mad missing explorer Toll and recapture my atomic bomb in your giant snowball, you fell through thin ice and sank to the bottom of a subterranean ocean, discovering along the way that the mind control helmet you had accidentally wedged onto your head enabled you to breathe underwater and resume your pursuit across the seabed.
Yes. Okay, so if you hold spacebar, it's letting me kind of double jump. I assume because of underwater, you know?
General, you seem perplexed.
Perplexed? Perplexed is that the keys to my house are not where I left them. Perplexed is the fact my dog will not eat cheese like other dogs. No, Ivan Ivanovich, I am not perplexed.
Oh. Down. Going back up. Clearly missed something. Or did I? You see no problem there? Maybe I am supposed to go down there. Because these ones are much denser, right? So maybe I have to kind of like control my descent. You know what I mean? So see, it's not the whole way that's blocked. I need to kind of do that. Yeah.
I'm not sure intrigued is the correct term either. In the rain,
I wasn't sure, like, how electricity-ish it was gonna be. There was no other way to go, so, you know. Whee! Like the big underwater jumps. Whoa. I guess it's good I waited a second?
That is unfortunate, General.
Once again, Comrade Privalov, I must correct you. Unfortunate is losing one's car in a snowstorm. Unfortunate is booking opera tickets on your wife's birthday and getting the date wrong.
Oh, was she furious?
Wait, I'm in a bubble now?
Furious. However, now that is a good word.
I could speak with your wife. Would that help? I could always have a word with her if you like.
I could always have you shot.
Oh, you could, but I suspect she would appreciate the gesture less.
I don't know if I can make that. I might need the bubble for that. Well, let's see if we can make it with a normal double jump. It's possible. It's tight, but possible. Dark Legion Mace says freezing. Not sure how else to refer to it. Other than a tight jump. A difficult jump?
A kraken. A vast monster of the
Ooh,
sea.
a kraken now.
A giant, humongous, many-armed electrical destroyer of ships and cities.
Electrical?
Electricity flowed along its horrible body, sparking and stunning all it touched, flowing like deadly rivers along its awful tentacles.
A little bit of a long transition there, but that's okay. A jump! Big jump. A big jump.
A sobering discovery. Are you suggesting that the vessel simply wandered off course and sank here? That seems unlikely even by your standards.
No, General, I only wish that were true. The mighty ship showed terrible scars. Signs of having been grappled and torn asunder by some huge and terrible adversary.
That is indeed strange and curious. I am troubled by this discovery.
Might you almost be perplexed, perhaps?
Big boy jump.
Push your...
Oh! Go, 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 go! Can I interact with this? Ooh, the plants don't like the light. Interesting. On. A little bit and jump. You gonna give me another bubble? Yep. Oh no, dude. Oh, maybe that's where I'm supposed to go. Okay. I think this is where I'm supposed to go. That's fine then. Do 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 do. Going on an underwater
I was
adventure.
stationed at Sydney Ostrif some years ago. I am only too aware of how easy it is for the imagination to create monsters when one is exposed to lonely and dark places. My men required constant monitoring.
Much like my cousin Pavel.
He was also stationed at Ostrov?
No, he required constant monitoring. He was a devil for stealing eggs.
Seems like maybe the general's trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here. Like, he does not believe his story, but he's like, maybe the real story is like, you know, so awful that he can't. Like, some Life of Pi stuff.
I was referring to the fear that something is lurking in the darkness. Something strange, brutish, and ill-intentioned.
Again, that sounds much like my cousin Pavel.
Okay, light is on. I want to turn the light. Actually, do I need to? Can I go up here first? Well, the light isn't doing anything facing this way, so I will turn it. Because I'll probably need it. Like, why would it be there if I didn't need it, you know? So let's turn it. Whoops. I did not steer well enough and popped myself. Ah! I did need it, because that thing prevents you from doing a big jump. So I would have landed and died. Cool. We are under the sea. Maybe even 1,000 leagues. Traipsing at the bottom of the sea. Gonna see some jellyfish. Kinda looks like the end of an area. This game is highly entertaining. I would recommend that you guys get it.
I was being hunted.
Like,
There was no doubt about it, and escape was all I could think about.
Naturally.
Well, that and duty.
Duty?
Yes, General. After all, I had a bomb to recover from that villain Toll.
How clever of you to remember that.
like, yes, you can die, but overall, it's pretty relaxing platforming. It's nothing too insane. Whoops. Yeah, it is indeed nice and casual. Got it. More than an hour of this game has not made her very upset and said, okay, time for another game. Exactly. Big jump! I wonder why this game has mixed reviews. My only thought is that maybe people are like, it's too easy? But that's exactly why I like it. It's not free. Like, you know, the jumps and stuff are not free. Clearly, I've died a couple of times. But it's not, like, ridiculously hard, like some of these games tend to be. And maybe the difficulty will step up a bit as we go into the, you know, further in episodes, but...
But first, there was the issue of escape. Escape from a dreadful, grasping creature that consumed all it could reach, dragging anything that wandered within its clutches to a miserable doom. A hoarder of useless trophies and stolen goods.
This jump
Once
looks...
again,
Yep.
I
Too early. This jump does not look easy. Okay. No, let go. Not want you to climb up there. Okay. See, a game that was more harsh when I grabbed that ledge and, you know, seemingly the tentacle would have killed me. But this game is a little bit more forgiving than that. Is it boss time?
I was like a mouse, General. A little mouse being toyed with by a terrible cat.
rather a wet mouse.
I was like a little underwater mouse.
Being stalked by a giant rubbery electrical cat with 8 tentacles.
Exactly, General.
Good, I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah.
May I continue?
Here's a thumbs down, the first one that you saw. Make this jump first. Whoa! I'll keep this brief. The only positive thing I can say is that the game has nice looking locations with enough variety. For everything else, just one sentence can describe everything listed here. Numb and utterly boring, which means no challenge at all, mindlessly running right with occasional jumps or slides. I felt numb during the gameplay. At the beginning, it felt like an interesting story. An interesting and funny story, but by the end I couldn't follow it anymore, having 8.4 hours on the record, but felt like it's 80. The game pauses completely if you open Steam Overlay or the game goes out of the focus. 2 identical playthroughs needed to unlock every achievement. You can collect items only on your second playthrough. On top of everything, you can't skip cutscenes ever. It's easy to say you shouldn't waste your time with this one. Okay. Yeah, I think it kind of sounds like the things that he doesn't like about it are the things I like about it, which is that it is not super hard. It's casual. But I do think, I would say, as an improvement point, the items should be collectible on the first playthrough. I would never replay this. Like, you know, to collect items, I would not replay it. But, and we did have the issue of, if you do unexpectedly die multiple times, the game can glitch out. Because they're not expecting you to die. I've caught in a bubble. Uh-oh. That's the one you saw when you first scrolled on Steam. Got it. Okay. That's apparently not where I'm supposed to go. Oh, don't make me open the clam again. That's just mean. Sauron is indeed looking for his ring. Where should I go? Obviously not that direction, because he did not go anywhere. Okay, that's a dead end, so we do need to go right. Why is he popping on that? Alright, we're gonna go a little bit to the left first so that we avoid popping. Okay, ride the bubble stream up. Perfect. See, that was challenging, but not ridiculous. I had to do it a couple of times to get the feel for it, but it was not ridiculous.
Didn't I? Why? No, Naverne, General, of course. Submarines. Millions of them. Well, several, at least.
Dark Legion Mage puts challenging in quotes. Challenging for me, okay?
Did you see names?
I am aware that I am not, like, the best gamer ever. Particularly with, like, this kind of platforming stuff.
Losing one's car in a snowstorm is unfortunate, as you say. But to lose a whole submarine, that could be considered careless.
We're gonna go inside the submarine. Look at us go. Like, I enjoy the aesthetic feel of this thing. I will say in this level, the end...
Well, that was painted on the hull, so I can only assume so.
I think I know.
The end transitions are taking too long, because we're kind of slower underwater.
You somehow miraculously
But that's a minor
brought
complaint.
the remaining closed cycle engine online, flooded the torpedo tubes, dispatched the Kraken with one shot, and triumphantly surfaced.
No, General, that is not what happened at all. I did indeed make my way to the torpedo tubes, but for a very different purpose. After all, history has taught us that atomic power is not to be toyed with.
Much like tired, impatient generals, perhaps. Particularly the perplexed ones.
Indeed, General. Or like dogs that will eat no cheese.
Hi, Duck God. I am doing well, thank you. How are you? We are currently doing our Unplayed series in episode 5. Oh, the helmet finally came off. Cool. No, we're not interacting with this? Okay, I guess we're going this way. Nope, that's death. Okay. Interesting. I do not seem able to interact with this door. Can I interact with this wheel? Oh, there's a lever here. Now there is power. Everything is fine. Jump. Jump. Did not get the slide. Oh. What? Did he catch up to me? What was that? Game seems so fast now that I'm out of the water, right? Yeah, I don't know how I died there. I got electrocuted. Did he catch me? Huh, I just got Duck God said, "What are you doing?" That's funny. Alright, well, I guess we just try again. I did miss a couple of jumps there, so maybe he caught up to me. Might have been an electrified puddle of water? Ah, perhaps. Oh, shnikey. No, I just messed up. Okay, need to remember to slide. Need to remember to frickin' slide. Slide with the shift button. Slide! Yeah! Now let's see if we die again. I was indeed too slow before. You need to push the button. It pushed itself. We're fine.
Will our determined yet disorientated hero end his days as socialist sushi? Will his daring exploits be cut tragically short by vengeful calamari? Will the general's wife ever forgive him for missing Ruslan and Lyudmila? And just how many eggs did Pavel steal? And where did he keep them? All of these questions and more may or may not be the next exciting episode of Little Orpheus.
Alright, let's play the next episode. On episode 6. The Bells of Lemuria.
I was alive, General. Somehow, miraculously, I was alive. Some twist of fate, some hand of destiny, but I was alive. Strange as this new world was, I knew Toll must have come this way, and it was my task to find him.
It's like I ended up in the Upside Down? Like, what? We're in the desert now? Skip the opening sequence, we've seen it a bunch of times.
The sun beat down on me relentlessly. The heat was unbearable. I was exhausted. Yet I could not stop. I had to go on. For 7 weeks, I trudged across the desert. On the second day...
Please, comrade, if we may. I think we can skip the details, unless you consider them to be particularly relevant to the location of Little Orpheus.
Of course, General. We will simply omit the tale of the singing chasm, the oasis of mirrors, the sightings of Tol's Mieng aloft on their pterodactyls carrying parts of my crashed rocket drill over the horizon to Lemuria.
Wait, the what?
Singing chasm?
Not that, but the rocket drill.
Oh yes, General, the rocket drill. But what did Tol want with it? And why Lemuria?
Lemuria?
Lemuria, General.
I am not familiar with this Lemuria, comrade.
Well, that is because it does not exist, General. Or at least, so I thought.
Ooh. Crystal powered? Nice. Whoops. Timing. I'm gonna wait till it's at its lowest. There we go. Nope. Too soon. Gotta wait. Patience is a virtue. Possible you might be able to do it on a first cycle. Maybe. But I'd rather just be cautious and get through this. Dude! Seriously? Okay. They're upping the difficulty a little bit. This is a little bit... I need to be really careful and really time it. I feel like I should just land in the soft sand and it should be fine and I should just be able to try again, but you know, whatever, it's fine. It's cool. Yeah, it might be possible to make that on the first cycle. There we go.
Strange crystals seem to exert an extraordinary hold over the stone blocks and arches. When they hummed, the whole city remade itself. Where they were missing, clearly looted by some villainous thief, the city was fallen to ruin. It was like a vast musical instrument, vandalized, and yet still attempting to toot.
Toot toot. See, like there, I feel like I should have died there. But it's alright. They're just going back like, no, that's not how he's telling the story. Time for a slide. Kuyo! I'm so cool.
How poetic. I'm sure our engineers would be fascinated and baffled in equal measure. If the whole department hadn't been arrested for sedition last week, I would happily convey it to their skeptical ears.
Sedition, General? Really?
How poetic.
Why did it fall back
I'm
down?
sure our engineers would be fascinated and baffled in equal measure. If the whole department hadn't been arrested for sedition last week, I would happily convey it to their skeptical ears.
Sedition,
Oh,
General?
and the thing actually broke a little bit.
It is unfortunate news indeed.
I am joking, comrade.
There's a pterodactyl again. Troll. Move this out of the way. We may be able to get over in here to a secret lever. Oh, I keep breaking it though. Oh, these guys again. Blocking their light. This is a funny review for a positive for this game you saw. Difficulty.
Oh yes, the Mank for here, all right. Which meant whatever dastardly scheme Toll had, it was to be enacted on these burning sands.
And you will explain this in due course, I imagine.
Hey, Devils.
Honestly, General, what you need to know first is this.
Game is
I have
enjoyable.
told you already how parts of the devices the enslaved Mian
I've been playing it for
came from the surface.
Radio parts and so
8,
on, yes.
9,
From
10,
what
almost
you
3
told me.
hours.
Assuming there were plenty of lost ships in the ocean as you claim, for Toll to have dredged up what he needed to assemble them.
Aha, good. You are one step ahead of me, General.
I said assuming.
Of course, assuming. Now, as I gazed in awe at the buildings rising and falling around me, I realized that the other major component of those mind-controlling helmets was crystal. Toll had raided Lemuria for them. He knew the city.
Yeah, I mean, I bet the 90-year-old grandma could play it.
And was using them to boost
The
the
gameplay
service
is
of
not
radio
ridiculously
exert his control
insane.
over the
Space.
which meant
Wait for it to fall. Okay. Go through. Yeah, I was actually saying, like, I think this game could be good for kids as well. Because it is not insanely hard.
Yes?
imagine, General, what such amplification could achieve when fused to the finest atomic science our great Soviet civilization has produced.
Run,
Wait.
run, run, run. Don't get
I
crushed.
don't understand. You said Toll was planning on using the bomb to shatter the Earth's crust to return to the surface.
A tragic mistake, General. I had not recognized the extent of his mad ambitions.
You mean to imply Toll would have attempted to enslave the Russian people? Pah! The will of the Soviet citizen is mighty and strong.
To you, perhaps, as a trained warrior, but consider, perhaps instead, a humble son of a toy maker from Top.
I'm not getting the subtitles anymore.
Ah, yes. Perhaps we have our share of simpletons, after all.
I'm wondering if I accidentally speed ran that part. Like maybe you were supposed to go more to the left or something. Because I think that was dialogue left over from the previous scene, and that's why I didn't get subtitles anymore. We're sneaking. I don't know what that just did, but presumably it did something. Can I go over here? No, gotta go back? Okay. I'm gonna wait. Ah, there's an elevator now that is working. Okay, and I'm supposed to jump over to the right. Right? It's a good thing these Ment guys are deaf.
The vast pictograms told of a history of wonders. They seem to suggest the Lemurians were travelers from another world, where a mysterious clock seemed to stand.
That is very mysterious. As mysterious as the location of little Orpheus, perhaps.
Yes, of course, General. I am just getting to that.
Magic has finally gotten to card games on motorcycles with their new upcoming set. Oh, yes. Ether Drift. I guess that's coming out soon? I have not been keeping up with previews or anything. You just gonna stand there, dude? You're not gonna look away at some point? Interesting. Can I drag something? Can I jump? Huh. Can I jump up here? Yeah! You're going to activate this. Aether Geo. That wasn't correct. Go back over. No offense to Yu-Gi-Oh! You think vehicles are an okay mechanic and gimmick. Well, it's basically our return to Kaladesh, yeah? Although it has a different name now, if I recall. Sorry, I'm observing these patterns, trying to figure out. I think now? Yeah, okay. My next move is to jump up to this one. Nope. Ooh. I don't know how I get up to that one. There's a small window where they are around the same height. So I think I have to run and jump now. You run one vehicle in commander deck. I have a commander deck that is dedicated to vehicles. And I actually had one before this one. I originally had a Depala deck, but there weren't enough vehicles to make it good. Now I have Shorikai.
Was gnawing at my mind. What did it mean that the Lemurians had foreseen the coming of Tol? And who was the man from above that was celebrated as the savior of the Mienf? It was almost as if they could read the future in their crystals.
The exiles 2 cards from a library and gains attack to it exiled cards. Is that one from Kaldheim? The blue one? I might be misremembering.
The bells of Lemuria tolled and tolled, a roaring symphony, a crescendo of peals that set the city dancing, each note causing the crystals to shimmer and cascade with light.
Oh, Unlicensed Hearst, I think, is from Crimson Vow.
And the
Or Midnight
bells
Hunt.
did not ring for celebration. Something was very wrong here.
Aside from the pterodactyls and the nymph and the dancing stones and the ancient magical prophecies and the crystals and now the giant bells, you mean?
If you don't want me to continue, General, I can easily just
Troll.
quietly go home.
Don't think Chepucha will get you out of this one, comrade.
Base. Control. I like how he kind of laughs like a maniac whenever he survives. Oh, do I have to time with the crack? That's awful. I don't want to do that. There. I think it's where the pile of rocks is. I think it's like here. Cool. I mean, that's fine, I guess. You don't have to climb that very, very small pile of dirt. I guess I need to jump in order to do that. Even though I didn't on the first one.
sliced through those magical structures, a righteous fire in my heart. I was like the Brinya Nikic, prepared to strike at the dragon who threatened my homeland.
Your heroism is only surpassed by your modesty.
On the contrary, General, I chose the Brinya carefully. Like him, I am a simple peasant. It was fate that chose me to descend to the Earth's core.
It was General Komanin who chose you to descend to the Earth's core. But don't let that get in the way of your story.
Well then, award General Polkovnik Kamanin the highest medal in the world.
He already has several of those.
I cannot take credit for his wisdom in sending them.
It's hard to tell what's in the foreground and background sometimes. But the game's pretty forgiving, so... I think he sometimes does a Tarzan yell. I'm gonna assume that those dinosaurs cannot actually hit you. Did we make it? Is that the end of the episode? No, we got a little more.
Was once a rocket drill ship, built to burrow into the Earth, was now a mighty vessel, repurposed to blast off into the skies.
Whoops. I went too fast. Didn't know that that was a thing.
There was no doubt the toll was headed for the strange world with its clock. Although to what end, I was yet to understand. But there was no time to consider. No time for questions.
No time for hydration. Seemed to be relatively safe right there. Okay. Wait.
Toll was on the rocket. Little Orpheus was on the rocket. And wherever they were headed, I must head there too, to thwart his plans, recover my drill, and save the world!
But it is very hard to keep hold of the side of a rocket.
Will our enthusiastic yet disorientated hero be burnt to a cinder by the rocket's engines? Will he be smashed into the rock that surely must be beyond the Lemurian skies? Does Nikolai Petrovich Kamanin really need any more medals? What was the strange clock, and what could it all mean? All of these questions, and more, will be answered if you're extremely lucky in the next exciting episode of Little Orpheus!
Alright, that was episode 6. Let's see. If I keep going, I would probably finish this game at 1 o'clock? There's 3 episodes left. Like, I guess that's probably okay? Yeah. Yeah, we can try to knock it out in one. Um, I don't know why you would ever want to delete save game. Nothing like buying an Egger for $130 and then it is reprinted. Your luck. Oh, yeah, they're just reprinting it in the Innistrad remastered. That's too bad. I was really lucky when the precon came out. I got it for, 40 bucks or whatever. Dude, that not only did that deck have Edgar Markov in it, it also had Teferi's protection. That was value. I don't think they're doing value like that in precons anymore. I think they've learned from their mistakes. Um but yeah, I think I'm going to run an ad, uh grab a little bit more food, and then continue on. I don't have anywhere else to be. So, yeah, we can keep all hanging out. I'll do an extra long stream today. But I'm enjoying myself. So I shall BRB.